Hey guys, what is up? I don't want the fan directly on me. Today is the 24th. I'm going to vlog today. Today's gonna be a pretty rough day. I'm hoping it's not, but it's just, even if it's nothing, it's very emotionally taxing on me because I'm a very emotional person. So, we have to leave in about 10 to 15 minutes. Right. I'm not drink or eat anything today. Excuse me, that's so gross. I got up at 6:30 this morning. Hurry up, hopped in the shower. Bentley was awake, so I turned a movie on for him because he can't be out running around when I'm in the shower because he gets into way too much, so he stays in his room. Put a movie on for him. Then I got him in the shower after I got out while I got dressed and lotioned up, because I just do it in the bathroom so I can keep an eye on him still. But then I can kind of do two things at once, honestly, because I let him stand in the shower and play in it a little bit. But as I was saying, it's gonna be a little bit hard. I'm a very emotional person. Like, it could be any little thing and I get really emotional. It's just a flaw of mine. I'm watching a movie and it's the slightest emotional moment and like I'm bawling, I'm crying, a touching moment, I'm gone. It just is what it is. I've learned to deal with it. But today, today is Bentley's neurology appointment, and saying that alone terrifies me. I don't think it's gonna be anything serious. However, with COVID and everything going on and him being in kindergarten, he is currently homeschooling, and it's not going as well. I didn't expect it to go great, but it's still not going as well as I would like it to go. He's not focused, he's not interested, and I'm trying, but I'm not educated in this, and as much as I'm educating myself in my son's diagnosis and everything, and I'm trying to learn everything about it, like, I'm not a teacher. This isn't my area of expertise. I do everything that I can, but at the end of the day, when I'm at home, I don't have 6 hours to sit with him and just work with him. I have to clean, I have to cook. They need to eat if they're at my house. They need to eat lunch, they need to eat breakfast, they need to eat dinner. I have school, which sometimes I don't do when he's awake, but I can't save it all for when he's asleep, otherwise I get no sleep. And he's an early riser, you guys. Like, if I'm going to bed at midnight, I'm getting up at 6 a.m. And 6 hours is not horrible, but there are times where I'm up till 2 a.m. doing homework if I don't do it during the day. And it's too much. In February, his teacher said he stared off into the distance for like 30 seconds and he didn't blink and his eyes started to shake. I've known symptoms like that for it to be a seizure. So honestly, immediately I got to my car when she told me this. Like, I was like, okay. She's like, just keep an eye on him, see if you notice anything. And I was like, okay. So I went to my car and I just cried. I called my mom, and I called my mom a lot last year while Bentley was in school. He had a really rough time his last year of preschool. It's the reason I didn't send him. He could have possibly had a seizure, and with COVID going on, and on top of all, he won't wear a mask due to his sensory. He doesn't like anything on his face, doesn't like anything touching his face or his head. He doesn't like them. So that's me sending my kid to school with no mask. So he has no protection. And I know masks are more for protecting somebody else, but he would be in a special education class. And there are probably going to be other kids in the same scenario that don't wear masks. And my biggest worry is I don't know what they do with their kids. I don't know what they do. How am I supposed to know that they're being safe and being good and washing their hands and using sanitizer and yada yada, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they're doing. So because I don't know what they're doing, that means I'm trusting my kid to just be around these people that I have no clue what's going on. And my biggest worry was these health things, the possible seizure, and like I had mentioned, he's been eating things that he's not supposed to be eating, like things that could contain poisonous chemicals in them. And so far he's been good, and I haven't noticed anything like really affecting him, but we have to go see a gastroenterologist. I'm so saying that wrong, but it's like it's a GI doctor, it's a gut doctor, and they're gonna see him, and I see them on the 30th, so in less than 7 days. So I see them next Wednesday, and then I see the neurologist this Thursday, and depending how these appointments go, then I'm gonna send him back to school, because he doesn't have any pre-existing conditions that would cause him to get it and cause future harm. I mean, nobody wants their kid to get this, trust me, I know. I don't want my nephew to get it, who is neurotypical, which is just not autistic, or having any delays. You almost ready to go bye-bye? Yeah? You ready to go? Thank you for bringing me your shoe. He knows what bye-bye is. He's so smart. I honestly, you know those like hold on, okay, we'll go. You know those conversations where someone's like, oh, they're just not applying themselves? I really just think sometimes he does not want to apply himself. He just doesn't want to do it. You guys, it has been a long day. I didn't film anymore. I didn't film when we got to the doctors because of COVID. I'm the only one taking my son, which normally I have his dad with me. But only one person can come in, and I see a lot more of the things, and I take note. If you're shaking, I'm sorry, you're not up on anything but some stacked stuff. So sorry about that. This whole video is basically me just sitting and talking. But I wasn't expecting to get the answers I got at the neurology appointment, and it was a really tough pill to swallow. So Bentley is not here right now. He went home with his dad for just a night. I'm gonna go pick him up in the morning. He went to go see his grandma and everything because I was very down. That is something me and his father try not to do. He very much feeds off of our emotions and everything going on, and the last thing I need is for him to be upset, because I don't want him to be. I want him to be happy. I don't want him to be worried. That's the last thing he needs. He needs people to be strong and positive. But I do have anxiety, and I do have my own mental health, and this is one thing that affects my mental health. So he took him for the night. So I had class tonight anyway. So it was almost just like I could just take some time to cry. Because I took a good couple hours to cry. I took a nap because I cried so much. You know, you get tired when you cry. Appointment, I guess, long-awaited what's going on based on the title of this video. I was going into it, so I'm a very, when it comes to stuff like this, I can be very pessimistic. I think that's the word. When it comes to doctor's appointments, like, I'm a person, I have to prepare for the absolute worst, because if I hear anything worse than what I'm expecting, it really gets me down. This appointment was the very first appointment I went into optimistic. I was like, okay, it's not gonna be a big deal. It's gonna be a thing where they tell me, you know, he could have had a seizure at school. I was kind of freaking out. When the teacher had told me that it could have been a seizure, I was a little scared. I got in the car ready to take these kids home, and I cried. I called my mom and I just cried. But I didn't take him because she told me to keep an eye, and I did not notice anything. I did not notice any, the staring off he did not alarm me. I don't know how to describe this, because I think some people, if they hear it, they're like, why wouldn't you have done anything sooner? But staring off, I had always assumed it was just a part of autism. I did not think twice that it could be mini seizures happening. It didn't cross my mind, because when he was 2.5 and he got diagnosed, that she said that those are things that could be happening, which was why we even initially got him tested for autism, because the staring off and the not paying attention. And he didn't used to respond to his name. So in my head, I was like, okay, that's why. You know, he doesn't know we're trying to get his attention. So I just chucked it up to that's what it was. And then he started learning his name, and he did respond a lot more, but there are times he doesn't respond. And I just always thought of it as being, it just kind of is what it is. She said that it very well could be mini seizures he's having, but the one at school sounded like it could have been a seizure. The fact that he stared off and his eyes shook. I said, I don't know if it's just I don't know what I'm looking for, but I've never seen eyes shaking. So I was explaining to her everything. Honestly, it was a good 30 minutes of just a talk about what was going on, and she wanted to like get any type of information. I said it was anytime he's focused, which really the only time he focuses is when he's flipping through a book. But anytime he's concentrating, which is only at a book typically, he does get what I would always reference it's to being into his own world, which was a huge thing they mentioned in the play therapy we did before he went to preschool when he was 2 to 3. It was a huge thing where they would say we want to get him out of his world. So in my head, that's just what it was. So I explained that to her and I said everything, and she goes, okay. She left, got information from his pediatrician or his family doctor. I'm just trying to think of like how she said it, because I don't want it to come off more serious, but I also do want it to be as serious as it is. She leaves and she comes back in, and honestly before it, the only tests she did was kind of his reaction to see if he felt things. So like, you know, wow, I just hit it too. The point in like your knee and your elbows where your arm jerks. I don't know what that's called. It's not a funny bone, is it? No, I don't think that's it. Maybe it is. Where like they hit that certain spot in your knee and your leg will move and stuff like that. So she checked that. She did the thing, it's like a metal thing where you hit it and it vibrates, and like you put it to see if you can feel the vibration, and she's just trying to get any type of reaction out of him. And he did notice that. She had him catch and throw, which he didn't catch the first time, but he caught the second time, and I was a little shocked by that. That's all she did before she left the room. Then she came back after, I think we were in there for like 5 minutes. She came back, and in my head, I was literally, like I said, I'm more normally pessimistic because I really like to expect the worst and get better news. But in this scenario, everybody kept telling me, all my family kept saying, like, it was nothing. It's nothing. You're not noticing it more. It's nothing. And she comes in the room. And then also we just discuss his level of autism, because autism is a spectrum. It's not really like you're autistic or you're not, and if you're autistic, you're like this bubble. Like there's so many different ways, types. It kind of goes from like moderate or like not really to moderate to severe. I don't know how to describe it. I don't have the words right now. He is definitely in the more severe category of autism. With severe autism, she was saying, she came in there, she was like, you know, what he had at school sounds like it could have been a seizure. She was like, all those little 20-second things could be or could not be seizures. She said that being severely autistic, I'm not sure, don't quote me, don't say this is what it is. I can't remember if she had said autism, severe autistic people are more likely to be epileptic or just have seizures. I can't remember if it was like it causes epilepsy or if it just is seizure related. So this, when you're severely autistic, you're more prone to getting seizures. And she said anything less than 60 seconds is not going to cause any structural damage to his brain. It's not going to harm him. It's not going to cause like irreversible damage later on in life. But she did say that these seizures, if they are seizures that he's having, could develop to more serious seizures. And if they are seizures he's having and he's not sitting down and he falls, it could be very dangerous. She said between that and his level of autism, she said she's concerned. And because she's concerned, we have to have an EEG for, it's a prolonged EEG, might I add, which I'm assuming is because of his autism is why we're doing it this way. But it's a 4 to 6 hour EEG. It is a 4 to 6 hour EEG where they're going to put probes on his brain, and they want us to bring books, his tablet, anything that he typically does, because she says they want to trigger something that they can monitor to see if he's even having them. If there's anything concerning from there, she said it could be a possible MRI that he would have to have. This upsets me so much because it's just he already has to go through so much. He has so many hills he has to climb to just do anything. And having this, it's just not fair. Like, why does it have to cause even further issues that possibly could harm him in life? And if he is having seizures, they said that they could possibly put him on medicine, that could help. It's just not fair. My brother and my mom are trying to be super positive. They're like, you know, let's just go get this done. It could really be nothing. She just wants to be cautious. But like, hearing that he can be more prone for seizures was a hard pill to swallow. He will have an EEG on October 6th from 1 to 5 or 1 to 7. I'll try and film some of it in there with him, because we're gonna have to try and keep him entertained somehow. Thankfully we can bring his tablet and his books. That'll keep him kind of entertained. And just, if you could please keep my son in your thoughts and your prayers, I would really appreciate it. If you don't pray, that's fine, just in your thoughts. Put out some good vibes. I'd really appreciate it. My family needs it, and I just want the most positive for him, and I want him to have the most smooth EEG, and hopefully we get good news. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great day, and see you later, alligator.